Hello, and congratulations on 100 years of being a chamber. A huge accomplishment. My name is Stuart Sandstrom. I was your chamber exec back at the turn of the millennia. Carlin has asked me to provide a few thoughts on my time at the chamber in Petoskey and give you a quick update on me and my family since. So, right after we left Petoskey, we moved to Dubuque, Iowa, where I ran the chamber, and then to Kalamazoo, Michigan, another chamber gig, and finally here to Springfield, Illinois, where I ran the chamber for a few years and then left the business about 5 years ago to take on a private consulting gig. Most recently, I've been working with the state of Illinois on developing a plan around cybersecurity. So if you've got any data here at the in the state of Illinois, you're in good hands. You might remember my wife Jean. She was a treasury agent when we left, and she was able to, in Dubuque, stay home and take care of us boys, me included. I need a lot of taking care of. Today, she has re entered the workforce and is the Chief Procurement Officer at Illinois' largest agency, the Department of Human Services. Jack, who you might remember looking something like that, remember him at the Business After Hours for a few months? Well, now he looks a little more like that. He is finishing up his freshman year at DePaul University in Chicago, where he is finally choosing between majors. He's choosing between political theory, statistics, and stand up comedy. Liberal arts education. It's a great thing. Our youngest, Will, that's his handprint from second grade, by the way, is the reason that I'm not there today. He is graduating from eighth grade earlier this morning as you're watching this. And he is on his way to high school, of course, where he will play soccer, he will be in the marching band, and he might even take up tennis, along with all the AP math classes and English and all the important academic things. So, during my time in Petoskey, I want to mention three things. One, generally, I was very blessed with a terrific, hardworking staff. Always, we had just the best volunteers in the business. And I want to highlight three specific leaders, and that's Jack Waldvogel, Jeff Wendling, and Jim Wynn, specifically around the time that they put in countless hours around the time that the Burns Clinic was dismantling. Their leadership, along with the supporting crew at their practices and at the hospital and the community as a whole, are the reason that that was salvaged in such a beautiful way. A way that really has created a more vibrant, I think, medical community in the region. And certainly much better than it could have ever been had those three not been in leadership positions in the community and at the chamber. Secondly, Leadership Little Traverse, celebrating 20 years itself, quite an accomplishment. When Maureen and Carol came to me to ask if I'd be interested in talking about developing a program like that, I jumped at the chance. Bringing on Will and Ken rounded it out nicely, and eventually bringing Carlin along solidified the core team that wanted to make a leadership program that deserved the title leadership. So many across the country still today are glorified community, community orientations. Nothing wrong with those, but they're not leadership. And Leadership Little Traverse is a model that should be attempted to be duplicated across the country. Lastly, parking and the downtown program. I don't know how George Kortauer convinced me and the chamber board that we, the organization that is supposed to welcome visitors to the community, ought to be giving out parking tickets. Now, it came with a lot of good downtown development programming, of course, but we must have been nuts, although we're still doing it, and I think the community's better off for it. Friendlier, how much friendlier, I'm not sure our parking ambassadors are, but we did take their guns away and we called them ambassadors, so I think we've done pretty well. Honestly, what that led to is the biggest point of pride of my professional career, and that is hiring Carlin Smith to come to the chamber. There is not a better chamber guy in all the land. When he said yes, I truly outkicked my coverage. I was lucky to get him. You're lucky to still have him. And he deserves that title, Mr. Petoskey. Well, to wrap things up, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to serve for those 6+ years. My first child, my first home. Just the Petoskey will always hold a dear spot in my heart, forever and ever. Congratulations again on the 100 years. Best wishes for another 100.